Hey everybody, I decided to do a little video here. I was going to show you several of these guns. These are all ones that I routinely carry on and off. I boogered up my thumb, and you're probably going, what the heck is that on your thumb? Well, it's a whole bunch of Ratatouille Band-Aids. Went in to clean the thing up this morning and couldn't find any regulation Band-Aids, so I had to dig into the box that has all the kids' Band-Aids in it. You'd think I'd be a little more prepared. It's about the third or fourth time I've tried to remove my thumb from my body. I was going to do a little different video, but I'm not sure that I can disassemble the pistols I was going to use with this thumb all boogered up like it is. So thought I would tell you a little bit about concealed carry where I'm from. I live in Kansas, and concealed carry became law here in 2007, and since then every year they have gone back to the legislature and they've altered the concealed carry laws. When they originally brought the laws out, they were fairly restrictive. I think there was something like 150 places that you weren't allowed to carry, and that included churches and bars and places that sold booze, and I mean, you name it, they had come up with it. And every year they've progressively made alterations to the law. Pretty much now, unless you're going to the governor's mansion or you're going to a state office building, you can carry as long as the place isn't posted with a gunbuster sign. And they've even, last year they altered that so that even if the place has a gunbuster sign and you decide to break the law and carry anyway, and you're stupid enough to get caught, then the first time it's a $50 fine, the second time it's a $100 fine, and then it doesn't get into like Class C misdemeanors until the third time. But you know, if you're dumb enough to get caught once, then God help you if you're dumb enough to get caught the second, third time. You'd think you'd learn a lesson. Anyway, as the laws have changed over the last couple of years, they've taken away a lot of places that we couldn't carry. They've also added quite a few states. I think there's 23 states or something that now have reciprocity with Kansas, so it's been pretty nice. You still get a lot of people that are residents in Kansas that pick up a Utah or Florida or Arizona license, and once they've got those, that pretty much gives them the ability to carry in almost every state in the country. Most of you know I'm pretty much a 1911 guy. I do have other weapons, and I carry other weapons. But these are the four that I really concentrate on carrying right now. This is a commander size 1911. It's 45 ACP. And honestly, since I've gotten a couple of these other weapons, I'm really seriously considering throwing this one a retirement party and having it blasted and having it refinished with a Duracoat or something, and then retiring it to the safe. I mean, I'll still shoot it, but I just don't think I'm going to carry. Like I say, it's got its bumps and bruises on it for sure. I originally coated it with Brunel's gun coat, and you know, it's a fairly decent coating, even though this looks like hell. But it's considering it's been carried on a daily basis pretty much for the last 2 years, and probably had somewhere between 500 and 700 rounds shot through it in that time frame also. You know, the gun coat held up pretty well. I just, like I say, I just think it's kind of time to retire it. So probably going to end up retiring that one. Then I've got the officer size. I'll still carry this one. It's dinged up, but it's small and compact enough. It's really nice when I have to have a shirt tucked in, and it just doesn't take up a lot of room. And weight-wise, it is a little bit heavy, but it does what I want to do, and it's very easily concealable. The Smith & Wesson Sigma, this one's in 40. Originally, I bought this as kind of my running around camp gun, but I carry this one a lot in the summertime, simply because of the polymer frame and the stainless slide. I'm one of those guys that has the corrosive sweat that'll eat through stainless steel watch backs, and it just plays hell on the 1911s during the summer. So I've been carrying this 40 Smith & Wesson for the last 2 years, and it holds up real well to the acids that my body puts out. And so far, like I say, been an impeccable gun. I've got another review that I do on it. I think I talk mostly about my wife's 9mm version, but both of them have been utterly reliable. The newest one I've got, this is also a polymer frame. This is a Beretta PX4. This is in 45 ACP also. I don't know. It's a nice gun. It shoots great. But it's a double action, single action. And just don't know if I can get used to the trigger. I mean, the reason I like this and the Sigma both is because they're high capacity, relatively speaking. The Smith & Wesson will hold 14+1. The Beretta only holds 9+1. So I'm only gaining one more round over the 1911s. But I don't know. Like I say, it's a decent gun. It shoots straight. So far, it has been absolutely flawless in its function, but just don't know about that double action, single action. I don't have a lot of rounds through this so far. I mean, I only probably shot 200, 250, maybe 300 rounds at the outside through it. I have carried it around a little bit here and there, but not often. And I just don't know if that double action, single action trigger is going to be something I'm going to be able to get over. Like I say, live here in Kansas. We've only had CCW since 2007, and in that time, I don't have exactly what the numbers are in front of me. I'll go get them here before the end of the video and tell you about it. Last I heard, there was something like 25,000 people that had gotten permits in the state, which is minuscule when compared to some of these other states that have had it a little longer. But yeah, the laws here have been very good for the CCW community. There's really not a lot of problem with law enforcement as far as that goes, and there's the thing that always comes up when Wisconsin and Illinois now are kind of the big battleground with it, because they've both talked about getting it, and all the anti-gunners are out there talking about the blood is just going to flow down the gutters in the street, and you think they'd get off the topic, because then everybody else turns around and goes, well, yeah, okay, why hasn't it flown through the streets in the other 48 states that have CCW? Kansas, oddly enough, the very first day that the law was in effect, we had our very first CCW shooting, and the oddity of it was the shooter. I mean, it was a good shoot. It was a legal shoot. Guy walked into a convenience store and tried to hold it up, and he was wheeling his gun around, took a couple of shots at people, But the odd thing about it was the shooter was actually an Oklahoma resident and had an Oklahoma permit and was carrying in Kansas through the reciprocity agreement with between Kansas and Oklahoma. So the only shooting we've had was a legitimate shoot. Since then, basically, we've gone from 0 to 20+ thousand people that are carrying, and I still have yet to see any blood flowing. So I don't, I just can't believe that the Annies keep bringing that excuse up about how it's going to just be the wild, wild west, because it just doesn't hold water. Tell you what, I'm going to stop here for just a minute, and then I'm going to go grab my statistics from the Attorney General's office, and I'll tell you a little bit more. All right, pulled up our statistics from the Attorney General's office, and as of February 1 of 2011, there had been 34,287 applications that had been processed. Currently, there were 2,176 applications being processed. Between applications that had been withdrawn and approvals that had been withdrawn, there was a total of 15. 30,917 actual licenses issued. Now, when you get into licenses that were surrendered, denied, suspended, and revoked, it gets a little dicey, and the reason behind that is because in Kansas, they, up until the beginning of this year, when you would move out of the state, if you had already moved out of the state and then called them up and told them you had moved out of the state, then they automatically suspended your license, and then would revoke your license. Whereas if you had called them before you had actually moved, then your license was considered suspended. Now, the license is denied. That's people who have sent in an application and for whatever reason they didn't qualify. But the problem with all those different things is they really have no breakdown on why it was suspended or why it was denied. Because if, for example, I were to fill out my application and send it in, and I forgot to sign the end of it, then it was considered denied. That doesn't mean I couldn't. They'd turn around and send it back to me and tell me to sign the damn thing, and I send it back to them, and then they turn around and approve me. But like I say, they just have some unusual methods of classification that don't really hold true. I mean, I'm sure that they've probably had some people, because one of the things that would deny it was if you, for instance, got caught with a DUI, they would turn around and suspend your license. So, you know, the problem with surrendered, denied, suspended, and revoked is they give you no definition of how many were revoked because people did something stupid, and how many were revoked because people moved out of state. There were some changes in the law this last year that allow you to carry your license until the state you move to can issue you a license, and vice versa. You can carry in Kansas on your old license until Kansas has the opportunity to issue you a license. So some of that stuff's changed. January of this year, there were 744 applications, which averaged 37.2 a day, and that's the total for this year. But the actual concealed carry law in Kansas went into effect in 2007, but they allowed people from July 1st to December 31st of 2006 to go ahead and apply so that they would be issued their license on January 1st of 2007. Between those two time frames in the second half of 2006, 2007, there were about 12,000 applications. Then in 2008 there were just under 6,000. 2009 there was 8,100. And in 2010 there was 7,851. And like I say, it gives you a daily average, which in 2006 it was around 40, and then it tapered off to 26 and 23, and then in 2009 it went back up to 32, and 2010 it averaged 31 a day, and so far in January of 2011 we've averaged 37.2. So, you know, people are getting out there and they're taking the classes and becoming licensed like they should. You know, this state doesn't have the population like some other states, so it's just not going to have the giant numbers, and the only people they issue a non-resident to is active military stationed in Kansas. So, you know, we just don't have people from all over the country applying for a Kansas license. Anyway, like I say, had some time today. Didn't think I could take any guns apart with my thumb all boogered up, so thought I would give you some numbers as far as Kansas concealed carry is concerned. I may do another one that goes more in depth as to the actual laws and everything in Kansas, but right now I just want to give you an overview. And when I got my license in 2007, I honestly just figured I would get it so that when they took it away, at least I already had my license and maybe I'd get lucky and be grandfathered in. Really didn't ever even intend on carrying. But what I found out was that I do carry. I carry every day, and I you know, carry out through that lifestyle of a CCW holder on a daily basis. So you know, it was really surprising to me because what my initial intention was and the way it actually ended up playing out ended up being two different complete lifestyles. So anyway, like I say, when my thumb gets a little better, I'll make another one on something, I don't know what, but may start bringing some rifles out. Initially I wasn't going to do much on rifles, but more and more I got thinking about it. More and more I think I might just go over some of the rifles I got. Got some interesting and some unusual ones. So anyway, that'll do for now, and hope you find this interesting. Hope you have a good day. I'll talk to you later.